everyone, Miss GoElectric here. Now I have a lot of people asking me how they can have fun and go electric in a more affordable and portable way than an e-bike. Well, I might have the answer for you here today. I'm sure you've heard of Flyer, a brand from your childhood. They've spun off an eMobility brand called Flyer, and this here is the S533, a commuting electric scooter. Let's see if riding it can restore the fun and nostalgia of our youth. One thing I like about this electric scooter is that it is packaged in a really small box. So it's really easy to move around and pick up because it's only about 32 pounds. Let's open it up and see how it's packaged inside. Looks like this is pretty sound packaging. It has some plastic wrap over the tube here, nice and protected. There's a couple boxes in here. Looks like this box has the handlebars in it, so let's open this first. This here is the handlebar. I'm going to set that aside. This is the user manual, and it looks like there are some bolts and an Allen wrench here. This here is a 42 volt 2 amp charger, so it should be able to charge the scooter within about 3 hours. All right, so it looks like in order to secure this tube, we need to push this piece of plastic down and pull up on the red lever here, and that locks it into place. Really easy to secure. Next, let's put the handlebar on. All you have to do here is plug in the cable here to connect to the power, and then slide that in, and we'll have those 4 bolts screwed into the side here. And this comes with, like I mentioned before, the bolt and the Allen wrench to secure this here. So everything you would need to set the scooter up. Well, that's all there is to it for the setup. There's just 4 bolts, a cable, and it took about 2 minutes, so nice and easy. Let's talk about this scooter now before we take it out for a ride. The first thing I want to talk about is the obvious, which is the quality and the beautiful design. Now, this is all aluminum, so it feels high quality as far as the materials go, and I like the fact that everything is integrated. There's not one cable that you can see exposed. They have integrated front light and an integrated tail light right off the back, and it's very seamless in its design when it comes to folding it up and securing it to the back here to be able to carry it really easily. Let me show you just how quick it is to fold up and carry away. Lift up on the collar right here and then pull down the lever. And then all you have to do is push down on the fender and it secures here to this clip. Easy as that. Now let's talk about the tires. The front one here is an air-filled tire, which is probably going to provide a nice comfortable ride. The rear tire is a semi-solid and it has the motor integrated into it, so they probably chose to do this because it would be hard to replace. It's really designed to last the lifetime of the scooter. Now there are also 2 brakes back here. One is the stomp brake where you put your foot on the fender, and the second is a regenerative brake, and you would use the lever here on the handlebar in order to engage that. The deck here is a nice grippy surface and it has quite a bit of texture on it, so hopefully it'll keep me in place while I'm riding, even on rough terrain. And then right here you'll notice that there is a port to charge the battery. It's all integrated here. This scooter has a 36 volt 6.4 amp hour battery, which is equivalent to about 230 watt hours. Flyer says that will get you about 15 miles of range and a top speed of 16 miles per hour. Now, of course, rider weight and conditions are going to play a factor on meeting those top speed and range figures. But the bottom line is, this is going to allow me to go further, see more, and have more fun than walking. Let's turn on the display and check it out. There's only one button on this scooter, and that's this power button here. So you just push down once and it'll turn on the display. You'll notice I have miles per hour here and my battery gauge. It's very, very simple. Now, there are different modes that you can switch out of. So in order to get to those different modes, what you need to do is press this button twice. So when I do that, you'll notice this changes to a different power mode. And I press again, and you'll see it turns orange and then red. If I press this button once, it turns on the headlamp and the tail lamp, and the tail lamp actually flashes. There is a lot that you can do in the app as well, so let's download that and I'll show you what that's all about. Wow, it looks like it's connected already. I like how in the app it tells me the different speed settings, and I can choose from here what mode I want to put it in. I can also lock out the motor so no one can take my scooter, even if they can turn it on. And then I can turn the lights on and off too. It records not only my miles ridden, but it also gives me my battery life too. Very simple, but useful design. Let's see how that lock works. All right, I just turned it on. It is providing a lot of resistance, but as you can see, I can still move the scooter. And then let me turn it off just to give you an idea of how easy it is to move without the lock on. Very easy, no resistance here. So essentially a thief could easily carry this away, but it will make it a lot harder if the motor is locked for them to ride off on it. Well, that about covers the basics of this Flyer S533. I think it's time to take it out for a ride. But before I do so, I haven't told you guys where I'm at. I'm here in Romeo, Michigan, and during this time of year, people flock to Tillson Street because of the crazy decorations they have set up there. So I'm gonna take this and go check it out. All right, I'm gonna be starting my ride portion of the review of the Flyer S533 on the first power mode. So this is going to be minimal acceleration. There are 3 power modes in total. This first one, I have my throttle all the way down. You'll notice that I'm hitting the peak 9 miles per hour, and I have a full battery, pretty much 95% state of charge. So this is as good as it gets in that first level, but it's really smooth. Perfect for actually this application because I still want to have the opportunity to look around and see what's going on. It's really cool because Tillson Street has one of the best Halloween displays I've ever seen. And they really go all out. I mean, just look at that. Pirates of the Caribbean theme. So this speed is perfect for just taking a look and seeing what all these decorators have to offer. All right, let's take it up a notch to the second mode. Now I could do this through the app, so if I had my phone mounted on here, that would be really easy. But one thing about this is that in order to switch to the different modes, I need to double tap the power button, and I don't really like taking my hands off of the handlebars, but kind of keep it balanced here. See, I can't do it while I'm riding. I have to stop to engage in a different mode. So let's slow down a little bit. This is actually, I'm not using the brake or anything. Okay, let's turn it into the next power mode. So as you could see, I couldn't do it while I was riding, so I stopped, and we're gonna double press and we'll get the orange colored S, which is gonna take it up another notch. This is kind of like the medium power range. Let's see how fast. Now I'm going uphill a little bit. This scooter actually can go up a 15% hill grade. And right now I'm at 11 miles per hour, really super easy, but definitely feel a little bit more power from that motor kicking in. Just gonna turn around here. Really easy. I feel still quite a bit of balance and secure riding this even through some of these cracks in the road. This is definitely a scooter made for pavement. I'm just cruising. I'm not even using the throttle, but let's give it a little bit more now that we're on a flat surface. And I'm at 12 miles per hour, so that's the limit of the second mode. Now, let's try one more time to see if, yeah, we can't change it. We gotta stop, so let me just slow down real quick. I love this regenerative braking stopping. It is much smoother than having a brake lever. Okay, let's double tap. So the red S means that we are in the top maximum speed mode. Let's give it a go. And as a reminder, when you do launch, you do need to kick first and then you can engage the throttle. So at a standstill, the throttle does not allow you to move. All right, flat surface here. Now I'm going at top speed, 16 miles per hour. So really easily and smoothly. It is a quicker response in that third mode. So let's test out this regenerative braking. I'm going at 16 miles per hour, lift off and full stop. So really smooth. I don't feel like it's too jerky where I am going to fly over the handlebars. And of course, when you do brake on an electric scooter like this, you do want to lean back a little bit. Now, the stomp brake, let's test that out. I'm going to release and then see. So if I do have to engage in the physical stomping brake on the back fender, then it has good stopping power. It's a little bit noisy, but you know, I think most of the time you'll probably use that regenerative braking instead. Either way, it's good to have both systems. Now, something to also note about a scooter like this is that it's going to perform differently based on rider weight and, you know, condition. So if it's colder out, it might impact the battery performance, things like that. But FYI, this looks like it's going to perform as advertised. And I'm 145 pounds or so. So it's giving me the advertised figures. Comfort-wise, I will say this deck feels a little bit short, and I would prefer a little bit wider deck. I kind of have big feet, 9.5 size shoe for women's shoe size, and I feel like, yeah, I'm on here, and half of my foot is on the back where the fender is, so it's doable. I just feel like, you know, I'd feel more comfortable if I had a little bit more space, but that would also probably compromise design, and I really, really love the design of this. Next thing is the grips. I really like these grips. They are like a rubberized material, but they're very comfortable, and they have a slight paddle on the end of them. So if you do have a little bit more pressure you're putting down in your arms on the pads of your hands, it's going to give you that support that you need. I love this dual lever setup because I'm used to already doing that with the thumb throttle for acceleration, and having it as a brake, a regenerative brake, is just a sleek design and also very functional. I'm already used to doing it, so I like being able to utilize both of my thumbs to stop or go. Also, as far as comfort goes, the throttles and the regenerative braking have this like rubberized texture on the end of it. So I've talked about this before in some of my other e-bike reviews where, you know, if the throttle is just that slippery plastic, your finger can slide off it pretty easily, especially if you're going over rough terrain, and even like cracks on the pavement here that you see here is gonna affect it. So I love that this has the rubberized texture on the throttle as well. As you can see, like, okay, say I'm going like 10 miles an hour and then I engage, it's a very gradual power delivery. If I'm getting a little higher up into speed, it does give me a little bit more of a push. I'm happy with this power delivery because I feel it's safe. It's not too jumpy. This isn't designed to be one of those super high performance electric scooters, so I think it's a great option for what a commuter would need. This is so fun. What a perfect way to be able to see all of these Halloween decorations. One last thing that I want to point out here is that this scooter also has this hook here, and it's designed to allow you to fold it up and connect it to the fender so it's easy to carry, but it also serves as a place where you could hold a bag. And I think that that is awesome, because if you are using this as a commuter and you end up going to like a grocery store or something like that, I know you might have a backpack, but you might just have a bag or a purse with you that you want to put right here on the tube. So I think this is a really nice option to be able to take some more stuff with you and have it hang off of your scooter. Now that I'm going at the fastest possible speed on the scooter, I can definitely feel the impact of the cracks in the road and the bumps. So yeah, this is a commuter scooter. It's really designed to be on paved paths. You don't really want to take this off-road at all. It's good for sidewalks and good for streets. And I'm noticing that I can feel a lot of vibration off the rear wheel because it is a semi-solid, and it's a little cushy in the front. There's no suspension at all on this scooter, so this is as good as it's going to get. But I think for this price point of $599, it does the job. It's comfortable enough. Let's go talk a little bit more about the conclusion of this scooter review. Now that I've had the chance to ride this Flyer S533, I want to share some of my thoughts. First, let's talk about the things that I like. One of the things that I like most is that this is a very simplistic electric scooter from top to bottom, whether that be the design or the usability factor. Very easy to just hop on and ride, really no learning curve. I really like that about this. Something that I really appreciate are the thumb controls. Not only do you have one for the throttle, but also one for the regenerative braking, so that this can come to a complete stop really smoothly. I didn't think that I didn't need a handbrake before, but now this is kind of setting a standard that I would rather have a regenerative braking system combined with a stomp type of brake in the rear to be able to control my braking on this type of scooter. Obviously, if I had something a little bit more high powered, I would want a really beefy, more controllable handbrake. On top of the fact that the brake slows me down, it's also recapturing energy to help increase efficiency. And I just think that's a really smart way to build this scooter, especially at this price point. $599 for this simplistic, elegant, but very capable scooter, I think is a great value. It's a 250 watt motor, so it's not super fast, but I think that 16 mile per hour top speed is plenty enough. And for my weight, it'll do. The quality of this scooter is remarkable, whether that be from the grips here and the material that they're made out of, the thick plastic materials, and there's even the rubberized texture on the controllers here for the accelerator and the regenerative braking, but also this down tube is made of a thick aluminum. None of it feels chintzy or cheap like it is a cheaper scooter for $599. All of it feels very cohesive and high quality. Well, of course, no scooter is going to be absolutely perfect, so I do have some improvements that I would like to see in future iterations of this model. One of them being changing the different power modes while I'm riding the scooter. Right now, as it sits, the only way to move up the speed limit or the power delivery on this into those different modes is to completely stop the scooter and then switch it out by double pressing the power button. I wish there was a way that I could do it while I was riding. The battery on this electric scooter is under 250 watt hours. There are two different figures depending on where you look, whether it's the website or in the manual, but regardless, it's under that 250 watt hour mark. And I'd like to see a little bit more range, because as I was riding and doing the calculation based on the percentage of state of charge after I've ridden for a few miles, it's calculating closer to about a 10-mile range out of a full charge versus about 15 miles what they quote. As with like most of the eMobility offerings that I see, I'd like to see a little bit more range, a little bit bigger battery so I can go further. Overall, you could probably find an electric scooter in this category for under $600, but I highly doubt that it's going to be as high of quality as you see here on the Flyer S533. Now, I don't have a coupon code or anything for this scooter, but if you want to learn more information about it, please see the link in the description below. I really appreciate you guys watching this latest review, and until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.